guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm Monica. I'm coming to you with wet hair, obviously, and a very stylish t-shirt. I do have some coffee, obviously. As you can probably tell from the title of this video and the way I look right now, I'm doing an updated hair care routine video. So I'm going to be kind of going over each step I do. I do have a pretty in-depth routine. I've had an in-depth routine for a while now, but a few things have changed. I did a hair care routine video probably about 3-ish years ago now, and so it's time to update you guys. Some of these products are the same that you already saw in that video if you've seen that video, or if you want to check that video out. I still like all those products. Some of them have been discontinued though, so I had to find new products, and some I have just kind of switched out because I found other products I liked more. We're gonna get into that. Before I get started on my post-shower hair routine, where I take it out of this funny little getup, I'm going to flash back, or at least I'm going to verbally and then visually show you what I just did in the shower. So I do use 2 different types of shampoo and conditioner. I alternate week to week. I wash my hair twice a week. I used to wash it once a week, but I did kick it up to twice a week, and I have been really enjoying that. I just feel like I don't know, I just like it more. I didn't feel dirty before or anything, and I do have a hair type that can get away with once a week. I've got thick, coarse hair, and it runs dry, so I can get away with it going quite a while without washing it. But I just got to the point where I wanted to wash it more, and I made it kind of work into my weekly routine, and I like it like that. So I wash it twice a week, usually about 3 to 4 days apart. It kind of differs, but that's usually what it is. And like I said, I do use 2 different kinds of shampoo and conditioner sets. So I use a moisture shampoo and conditioner. I'm using this one by Kenra right now. I love this so much. I used to love the Redken All Soft Mega. I used that in my last hair care routine, but unfortunately that has been discontinued. It has been for quite a few years at this point, sadly. So I did have to replace it. I tried a bunch of different moisture shampoo and conditioners. I love this one right now. I just think that this line is so great. I do like high-end hair care. It's just my thing. It works best for my hair. I'm not telling you that you have to do that, but I do feel like it does make a difference for me, so I stick to high-end pretty much throughout my entire routine, except for my Detangler, which we'll get to here in just a second. But I am using this Kenra moisture conditioner and shampoo set, and I love it so much. When I do my moisture routine, like I said, I do it 1 week, and I wash my hair twice that week with the moisture line, and then the next week I go to the other shampoo and conditioner duo that I like, which is the Redken Extreme. I did use this in my last hair care routine. Nothing has changed. I love it so much. It's so great for strength. I know they have like an extreme length line. I haven't tried that. I don't really feel like I need that necessarily because my hair is now growing very well. It wasn't for a while, but now it is, and I just love the Redken Extreme line. And with each of these routines, like I've like kind of beaten into the ground at this point, I do 1 week moisture, 1 week protein or extreme, and that is a really great balance. I just feel like it works really well for me. That was recommended by my hairdresser, to have protein and moisture in my hair. It's helped it grow. It helps it kind of not really break off when I get like my hair balayaged or anything like that. I do get my hair balayaged, just in case you're wondering. Obviously, I just mentioned that. But I get it balayaged once to twice a year. I was doing it more often, and I didn't feel like it was really damaging my hair, at least not to a noticeable point. But I have kind of just started highlighting it in that way once, maybe twice a year. I did it once last year, and I liked how it kind of just faded into a darker blonde as the year went on, and as it kind of got cooler outside. And you know, a lot of people want to go darker for the cooler months, so it worked out well for me. And then I just got it balayaged again. I feel funny having this on my head while I talk about this. I'm just about done with my in-shower routine. I do love to use the Pacifica scalp massager when I'm shampooing my hair. I shampoo my hair twice regardless of what shampoo I'm using, and I usually massage that shampoo into my hair each round. So like I do 1 round of shampoo and I massage in my hair with a scalp massager for 2 minutes. Then I repeat that, literally like shampoo, rinse, repeat. And then after I do that, I do have a treatment that I do for each like routine, whether it's the moisture routine or the protein routine. I do a like treatment, and what I use when I'm doing my moisture routine is this oil from Davines, their hair butter. I love it so much. This is the deep conditioner I'm really loving right now. Part of the reason I love this line from Davines so much is because the smell is literally heaven. It's so divine. It's my favorite smell in any of my hair care products, and I have a lot of really good smelling hair care products, which is kind of funny, but that's just the best. I love it so much. and I just think it does such a great job of hydrating. I actually, when I use that, I do get out of the shower and let it sit for 30 minutes and kind of just work or do whatever I'm, you know, it depends on what day it is. I'll just fill my time for 30 minutes and let it sit, and then I go in the shower and I do rinse it out, and I do follow up with another conditioner. In this case, I'll use the Kenra moisture conditioner. That sounds like a lot of conditioner, but I have really dry hair, so it works for me. I also do put a little bit of conditioner on my roots, not just my mid shafts to ends, because I do feel like I need it a little bit, just because I do run a little drier, and it doesn't make my hair greasy or anything like that, but this is definitely like, don't do that if you have oily hair. Obviously, you probably can figure that out, but that's what I do. Today I did not have to do the hair butter because it's a Friday, and I do my treatments usually at the beginning of the week just because it just works better in my like weekly routine. So I did that earlier this week and it was great. So because I did use my moisture shampoo and conditioner this week, next week I will alternate to my Redken Extreme or my protein line, and the treatment I use for that, or to like coincide with that, is this cat treatment from the same line, the Redken Extreme cat treatment. I don't know why it's called cat treatment, but this is a lot less of a wait time than the Davines hair butter. I literally just spray it in my hair, and I do my mid shafts to ends because that's what it says, and it's a protein like treatment, so I don't want to like put too much in my hair because it can cause breakage, but I do like a little bit. It's just a spray, and you shake it up and you spray it, and I usually just stay in the shower for that and wait 3 to 5 minutes while I do like shave my legs or whatever. And what I'll do is wait those 3 to 5 minutes, fill my time, and then I'll rinse that out and follow up with the conditioner. That is something that is a post-shampoo treatment, and then you follow up with conditioner. It works great. Like I said, I do only do these treatments once a week, but I do feel like they are really making a huge difference. So yeah, today, like I said, I use that Kenra moisture shampoo and conditioner, and I just shampooed twice, conditioned, and now here I am, and I plopped it in this t-shirt. I alternate between a t-shirt to dry my hair because I feel like it does really great with not causing breakage, or I also use this little Kitsch microfiber like hair wrap. To be honest, I don't know why I do this. I was thinking about this before I filmed this video, before I started filming. I usually use this when I'm going to blow my hair out, and I usually use this when I'm going to do a wavy / curly hair routine. I don't really know why. I think because this works better for like the plop method, and I've been playing around with a wavy hair routine. Like I've been playing around with a bunch of different ones, trying to figure out kind of which one I like the best. So if you want to see me like do a video on that whenever I land on one, I will, but it's kind of interesting because I haven't done a wavy hair routine like consistently in a really long time, maybe ever. And so I'm just kind of getting back into that. But today I'm going to be blowing my hair out. I did just let this sit, and I feel like regardless of what hair routine I do, like whether I'm gonna blow it out or do some sort of wavy method, I have to like kind of like dry it out a little bit. I know they say to have like sopping wet hair with a curly hair routine or a wavy hair routine, but it doesn't work as well. I feel like it causes my hair to be frizzier because I'm drying it from such a soaking wet point, but that's another video for another time. So back to this hair care routine. So as you can see, I just took it out, and I did let my hair sit in there for quite a while. I think it was about 15 minutes. I did like my skincare routine. I made myself a little latte. I have a whole video, like a little short, if you want to know how I make my at-home coffee in a really delicious coffee house way. But I did just take it out, and I'm now ready to go ahead and start on my actual post-shower hair routine. So the first thing I'm gonna go in with is this Shea Moisture Coconut and Hibiscus Kids Extra Moisturizing Detangler. This was something I used in my last hair care routine. I do feel like this is just so good if you have like naturally tangled hair. It just gets tangled really easily, or it's wavy or it's curly and you're wanting to do a blowout. This is really the only detangler that works for me, frankly. So I've tried a lot, and this one is just the best. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it in like a 2-pack. It's super inexpensive. I take this and I just shake it up, and I like to kind of just gather my hair and just kind of apply a pretty vigorous amount. I really like to get it in there. So I go in pretty generously. I do focus it on my mid shafts to ends, but I do spray a little bit at my scalp because I feel like I do need it pretty much everywhere. I just need it most on those mid shafts to ends. So I just gently kind of comb it with this Conair wide tooth comb. I'm not gonna go in with any sort of actual brush until my hair is mostly dry. I just feel like my hair is more prone to breakage. I mean, everybody's hair is more prone to breakage when it's wet, but I feel like my dry hair really is. So once I get to that mid shaft, as you saw, I started going from the bottom and I'm combing up. This is key. I have been doing this for years and I have noticed significantly less breakage. It helps me get my tangles out way easier. So if you aren't doing that and you're noticing that maybe your hair's a little bit more broken in certain areas, or maybe you just have naturally wavy curly hair, this is a great way to comb it without adding more potential damage to it. So the next thing I go in with after I detangle my hair is this Davines Oi all-in-one milk. This, by the way, and the hair butter have Roku oil. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. This is an Italian brand. I actually discovered it through my hairdresser. She started using it and first of all I was like, oh my gosh, these products smell absolutely divine. Divine. Absolutely amazing. And she's been using this particular product on my hair for about 1.5 years now, and I just really love how it works, so I bought it for myself. And Sephora now sells Davines products, so that's amazing. I highly recommend pretty much anything that I've tried, which is their shampoo, conditioner, this, and then the hair butter, but I did buy something during the most recent Sephora sale. It's literally called something like, this is a dry texturizing spray or something. I haven't tried that yet, so I'm not gonna be featuring that in this video, but that smells amazing. My hairstylist does use that on me as well, but I want to try it for myself and see like how I like it with the way I style my hair, because she styles my hair a little bit differently than I do, but I just take it and I just literally spray it. By the way, this is a leave-in conditioner, and it's taking the place of the Redken one I used to use. It's also part of the All Soft Mega line, so I'm still a little bitter about that, but honestly, I love this so much. And I do just take a little bit of this as well and kind of get it near my scalp because, like I said, I've got dry hair and I have dry hair everywhere, and I do like to spray it in my hands like I just did, and I like to kind of concentrate it on my baby hairs, just like my face framing hairs, because I feel like those can get a lot more heat damage than the rest of my hair, because if I like style my hair and I need to straighten these out, if I've showered, even though I wear a shower cap, if I've showered, sometimes my baby hairs curl because, you know, water can just make its way in there. So sometimes I try not to put too much heat on them, but sometimes they get more heat than the rest of my hair. So now what I like to do is I like to go in with the Mitchel Super Skinny Serum. I love this so much. I have been using this for, I think, almost the entire duration of my 20s. And I'm 28 now, and this has not changed, but I take 3 pumps and I just literally like rub it in to my hands like lotion, because that way you're kind of like getting all of your strands. And I like to pull my hair over to one side and just focus this on the mid shafts to ends. I do not put this at the top of my hair because this is very, it can make your hair look oily even if you have dry hair. I did it one time and my hair looked super greasy. I had to like wash it all over again. It was so much fun. I do like to take whatever's left of my hands and just, once again, hit these baby hairs, a more concentrated application, because, like I said, they potentially do get more heat put on them than the rest of my hair. The next thing I like to go in with is this Neuro Style Prime Blowout Primer from Mitchel. This is kind of hard to get your hands on. It is a repeat product from my last hair care routine video. If you can find it, it's still being sold. You just have to dig. I do mostly get it on Amazon and it's a legit seller, so I've never had any problems. But basically, this is a heat protectant. It protects up to 450 degrees. And I literally rely so heavily on heat protectant. I use so many different ones in my hair care routine. This is the first one. So I get literally so much. I get 5 pumps. And I take that, once again, kind of rub it in like lotion, and I just gather my hair once again and comb it through. It's funny, I think that this was described as like a citrus smell on their website, but it smells kind of like perfumed trees to me, or like cologne trees. I don't know, like trees mixed with like some sort of cologne scent. And honestly, I really do love the smell, so I'm not mad about it, but I just don't think that their description of the smell is super accurate. I do like to go in with this as well and do a concentrated application on my baby hairs, because once again, for the billionth time, I subject these hairs to more heat. than the rest of my hair. And I do like to make sure I'm concentrating it on the ends as well. So my final step in this portion of my hair care routine is I go in with an oil. My all-time favorite oil is this L'Oreal Professionnel Absolut Repair Oil. It's got wheat germ oil. It is so, so good. It's like $30-something. It is their professional line, so you do have to get it at Sephora, and it is a little bit pricier. But I don't take very much at all. I literally take one pump because their pump, I'm like trying to show you, is quite, it's quite a hefty amount. So I just do the same thing, rub it in like a lotion on my hands. I just take my hair and take it mid-shafts to ends. I really make sure not to get this near my roots because it can also make your hair look a little oily. There was a time where I accidentally did put it all the way up, like I wasn't thinking, and I just like got a whole pump and like put it on my roots. And it actually was like not terrible. It did make my hair greasier a little bit faster, but because I have pretty dry hair, it really didn't make it look overly oily like on the first day. The second day I was looking a little oily though. But I'm just, once again, going around on the face framing parts of my hair, baby hairs, and just hitting those, and then taking the residual and just kind of taking it through the rest of my hair, making sure I'm using every bit of that pump. And so now what I like to do is I literally like to comb it. I don't know, I comb it right after I detangle it, and then I don't comb it again until this step. I just feel like it kind of helps, at least theoretically, like work the product into your hair. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like you're kind of like, you know, distributing it just a little bit more. So now that we've got all those products worked in, I'm literally just going to let this sit and air dry for a little bit. I know people have their differing opinions about air drying and like whether that or blow drying is better for your hair. I feel like for me personally, my hair just is happier when I let it air dry to about 80% dry and then go in, or like dry completely honestly and then blow it out, because even rough drying it, I feel like it makes it frizzier, it makes it look a little drier, and so I feel like kind of letting it just sit and have a breather after the shower before going in a little bit with like blowing it out, blowing it dry, whatever. And I do rough dry like my whole head before I go in and blow it out, but I do just feel like my hair's happiest that way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this all sit, let my hair air dry for a little bit. While I do that, I'm gonna go pack because we're going out of town this weekend, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of let this sit, let the products really nourish my hair while I let it sit. And I'm gonna join you in just a little bit, and we're going to rough dry my hair and then blow it out. And then after that, you're actually gonna see me probably tomorrow because I'm gonna like curl it from there. But I'm not gonna curl it today because actually we have an event tomorrow. We're going to do family pictures, and I want my hair to be freshly curled for that, so I'm not gonna curl my hair today. It kind of differs. Sometimes I wait until the next day to curl it, and sometimes I do it the same day. It just kind of all differs. But I'm gonna go pack, and I will see you guys in just a little bit to finish up at least this portion of the hair care routine. All right, so it's a few hours later, and my hair is just about fully dry. It's probably about 90% to be honest. I just let it air dry while I packed, and now that I'm done packing, I can kind of rough dry it just a little bit, and then I'll go in and blow it out. And I'm just gonna blow it out straight because I just find that that just makes it a lot easier the next day when I wanna go in with a wand, because I do have wavy hair. I do find that it makes a difference when I use this wide tooth comb after I apply all my products and it's still in its pretty wet state, because what I do is I feel like I'm distributing it and also kind of doing a one last like straighten out as much as I can without touching it after that. So I do like to do that. I used to comb my hair while it was drying, but I actually realized I don't really want to do that because, you know, hair is in its most fragile state and its most breakage prone state when it's wet. So I just want to comb it once when I detangle it, and then once after I do my entire like post-shower hair product routine. And so that's what I did, but it does help a little bit to kind of comb it after I put all those products in when it's still wet, because it kind of gets it a little straighter than it would be naturally if I didn't comb it at all. But now I'm going to rough dry it just a little bit because I just feel like that helps when I go in afterwards and like straighten, blow dry it with a round brush. And I'm gonna be using my Shark. You don't have to use this. I also love one, like just a blow dryer by Babyliss, but I do love my Shark. It's great. I also use the diffuser attachment when I'm wanting to do a wavy / curly hair routine. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this Kenra Professional blow dry spray. This is not different. I've been loving this for years. It's like my second favorite smell in all of my hair products, but this is great for just adding more heat protection, and it also gets your hair super smooth. This is a product that I would not recommend if you have oily hair, because it's gonna make my hair look real oily. Really almost wet looking. And I've found that people, like I've kind of conversed with other people when I am at the hair salon, and my hairdresser has recommended this a couple times to other people, and they'll be like, oh, it's just so oily, it's just a little bit too heavy for my hair. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, because my hair just drinks it right up. But like my best friend Melissa has wavy fine hair, and her hair runs a little bit oilier. And if she used this, she would probably experience almost greasiness. So as you can see though, I am going in pretty liberally with this. I basically make my hair look like it's wet all over again, but this is just the perfect stuff. I would not recommend this heat protectant when you're gonna iron your hair. I use a completely different heat protectant when I curl my hair or straighten my hair, which I do like once every 4 years. But as you saw, I did comb my hair lightly with my wide tooth comb again after I put that in, kind of like get it all over my strands. And I'm gonna go in with my Shark, and I'm going to put it, like there's this heat like scale. I'm gonna put it on the second one. The third one is the hottest. The first one is of course the coolest. I find the second one is hot enough to get my hair dry pretty quickly and also blow it out nicely, relatively speaking. Sometimes my hair does wave a little bit, but that's okay, because when I go in with an iron, I just kind of like fix some of the waves that may come through. But that way I'm not putting like full heat on my hair. So I'm gonna go ahead and rough dry my hair real quick with this, and then we're gonna follow up with blowing it out, and we'll get to that in just a second. By the way, when I rough dry my hair, I do flip it fully over and blow dry it like that. I'm gonna try to get it in frame as much as possible, even though I'm pretty short, might have to stand on my tippy toes, but that just gets my hair super dry, super fast. So here we go. So now that I've found my part, I'm gonna gently comb it again with my wide tooth comb from the bottom up, just to make sure it's all tangle free. Usually it's mostly tangle free, but I just like to get it nice and smooth. And then once I do that, I'm going to put some more Kenra heat protectant in, and then I'm gonna start blowing it out straight with my Shark once again. And I'm gonna use this Hair Edit round brush. I need to repurchase this because it's just a little bit janky, but I love this so much. It's the best round brush for getting like the really stubborn waves around my face, around like my crown in the back. And I also love to use this wet brush. Actually, it's kind of funny because I don't use this when my hair is wet, but this is a professional wet brush, and it is just so nice. It's so much nicer than the traditional wet brushes, and it's also very aesthetic looking. But I'm gonna go ahead and spritz the Kenra blow dry spray back in my hair and get started on blow drying. This takes me a little bit, but it cuts time in the next day when I actually like use an iron, because I don't have to worry about straightening or anything like that, and it's like ready to go. Or I guess later, because sometimes I do also curl my hair after, like immediately after I do this. So let's just go ahead and spritz this in, and let's just go ahead and get started on this, because it's a little bit of a long process for me. Alright, so I just finished. It took me about 30 minutes to blow it straight. As you saw, I had to bring in my Babyliss Nano Titanium Pro blow dryer to get the stubborn little baby hairs around my face that are very, very curly or wavy at the root. This concentrator on this is not super precise. Like, it's quite a bit bigger in like width, I guess, than this one. So it actually looks pretty similar on camera, but I'm telling you, it must be the way this is constructed. It comes almost like at a point, and it makes it a lot easier to get those little bitty baby hairs. So if you take anything from this video and you're kind of eyeing the Shark hair dryer and like the whole set, but you're like, maybe you don't like the rest of the attachments, so you don't necessarily need any of the air wrap or diffuser attachments or anything like that, I would just pass on this actually and go ahead and get the Babyliss one. In my last hair routine video, I rough blow dried my hair with this, as well as straightened it with a round brush. Honestly, I would still be doing that if I didn't have the Shark one. I just happen to have this on hand, and I actually really love the way this one rough dries over the Babyliss one, but that one rough dries fine too. You don't need that. But I also do use the air wrap attachments. I'm just not using them in this video because I've really been loving my Bio-Ionic curling iron. So like I said, sometimes I do curl my hair right after this, or I put makeup on and then curl my hair in the same day. But since I need my hair to be freshly curled tomorrow for pictures, I'm gonna actually meet with you guys tomorrow and do that. So I'm pretty much done for the day, but I did want to give a quick shout out to a thing that I have added since my last hair routine video that has been pretty life-changing. So this is nothing new. Obviously, a lot of women have used bonnets before, but I did happen to go ahead and get a long hair one. That makes a difference. I have long hair, and the short ones kind of cause my hair to crease when I'm sleeping, so this prevents that. So I will link this below, and I'm gonna use it tonight, and I will go ahead and kind of end this portion, and I'll meet back with you guys tomorrow. So I'm back, and it's actually not the next day like I thought it was gonna be. I was not able to fit in filming with like trying to get ready for pictures and stuff. It was just a little too hectic. So I'm just back with freshly washed hair. I washed it yesterday, and I actually used the extreme line this time because it's the next week, but I'm back to where I was when I left you guys. So now I'm going to show you how I do my hair from here. This is the final step. I am using the Bio-Ionic curling iron. This is the 1 1/4 inch. I love this so much. Like I said earlier in the video, I do like to use the Shark air wrap as well, and sometimes I just leave my hair like this, but most of the time, to have the longest lasting hairstyle, like putting it in a bonnet overnight and like wearing a shower cap in the shower every day, I found that the curling iron method lasts the longest, and then I don't really have to go into my hair after this until I wash my hair again. So this like limits the amount of heat. I just am really liking this method. I do like the other ways I do my hair as well, where I like kind of blow it out, which is what I showed you guys in my last hair routine video. In that video, I blew it out with my round brush and my Babyliss blow dryer, and I do like to kind of leave it like this sometimes, like I said, and use the air wrap, but I just have really been loving using my curling iron, and I've had this for about 1.5 years now, and I just love it so much. It's just as good as when I got it, and a lot of times this curling iron will go on sale like 50 bucks off or somewhere around there at Ulta. A lot of times like during like random sales, like spring sale, Black Friday sale, and all that stuff. So if you are interested in getting it, definitely need to. By the way, this is the long barrel one. That is key if you have hair that, I mean, if I were to guess, hair that's like longer than just below the shoulder, I think would need this, so you're not like wrapping hair on top of hair. So what I like to do before I go in, of course, is use a heat protectant. I'm really liking this one from Mitchel. I've talked about it before. It's the hot off the press flexible style thermal protection hairspray. So I've really been enjoying this. They don't make this in a travel size, unfortunately, so when I do travel, I like to use the Beachwaver Great Barrier Heat Protectant Hairspray. It's really, really great. I also liked one from Mitchel that I'm pretty sure has been discontinued. It was in a blue spray bottle, just like this, just blue, and it was in their Neuro line, and I'm pretty sure they've discontinued that. So hopefully they're not going to discontinue the primer that I used earlier in this, because I just love that so much. And hopefully they will never discontinue this, because I love this. It really has like the best hold, whereas the Beachwaver one, it's more of like a light hold, but I love using like heat protectant hairsprays on my hair when it's like fully dry, when I'm going in with an iron, because I do find that that is just the best. It kind of like dries, so you're not putting your iron on like wettish hair from a heat protectant. That's why I wouldn't use the Kenra blow dry spray. Besides the fact that it's just a blow dry spray, I would just reserve that for blow drying, since it does make your hair so like almost wet or oily. And I would use something like these in like when you're going to iron your hair. So I am just about out of this. We'll see if I'm able to use this all over my head. I may have to switch to this because I have been using this pretty religiously, but I'm gonna go on my hair with this. And I'm gonna go in pretty generously with it because I think it's better to go in with too much heat protectant per se rather than too little. Just kind of a personal rule I live by. So what I do after that is, you can see it's kind of hairspray-y looking. I go in with my wet brush and just comb it through. I feel like this kind of helps get it all over my strands of hair. Like, I'm trying to not let any hair or strand of hair go unsprayed, unheat protected. So I just like to work it in. And I find that this also kind of helps it dry because it does go on a little wet, and I do like to give it a second to fully dry because I just feel like that's better for your hair. I feel like somebody told me to, I think it was my hairdresser at one point, like a while ago, that if you like use heat protectant, you're actually supposed to kind of like wait to let it dry first, because you know heat protectant is heat activated, so the minute that you put heat on it is when it starts working. But if it's like sopping wet, like if you do it with an iron, obviously the Kenra one you can't really let dry because it would just be like that forever. I do kind of let it sit on my hair though, but I do the same with all of my heat protectants. I just let it sit for a second after I kind of comb them in and brush them through, so I don't like risk actually doing the opposite of what I want to do, which is obviously protect my hair from heat as much as possible. Because if you go in straight with an iron and your hair is still kind of wet, even if it's wet from putting heat protection on it, it will burn it a little bit. So we don't want to do that. So I'm just kind of like letting this dry as I comb through it. And then in a second we'll be ready to go in with my curling iron. All right, so now that it is nice and dry and ready to go in, I'm gonna just do it sectioned. And what I do is I pull like little, almost like inch and a half groups of hair, and that is how I style. I don't section it in layers. I used to do that, but I just find that this is more efficient time-wise, and it gives like a better result. So I don't curl my hair like the people at salons do. I'm not good at that. So what I like to do is start at the top, kind of smooth it out, just in case, because I do have naturally wavy hair, and I literally just kind of get the hair and I wrap it as I go down it. You kind of saw, I feel like maybe the visual lesson there was better than my verbal commentary of it, because I was having a hard time. And I literally, I don't know why I do this, but maybe there's a good reason. I like to just see how warm the hair is getting, and when I feel like it's been on there enough, I just kind of gently like swing it and wrap it. I don't know if the swinging does anything, but you know, I feel like it does. So I literally just do this all around my head. That's the method. There's nothing really additional to say. So what I'm gonna do is just continue to do it the way I just showed you in the technique I just showed you, and we'll kind of finish up this hair routine video. By the way, I did want to say I don't go all the way down to my end. I leave about an inch out of the curling iron just because I feel like it gives a better look, and it's probably better for the ends of my hair. So I just wanted to kind of point that out just in case you hadn't really noticed it. All right, so now that my hair is all styled, I'm gonna take the Redken Dry Texture Finishing Spray, and I'm just going to put a pretty generous amount on my hair and let it sit for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna finish getting ready. I mean, sometimes that means that I put my clothes on that I'm wearing for the day. I'm already dressed today. I'm gonna put on some lipstick though, and maybe some earrings. I'm gonna let it sit for at least 5 minutes. That makes a really big difference. I also wanted to let you guys know that when I am styling my hair, I try to keep it at 360. I feel like that temperature is like a happy medium between like actually using like a relatively high heat on my hair, which I mean 360 is, but it's not 430. So I try to keep it at that like in between state. Sometimes I have to kick it up to 390 if I'm having like some stubborn areas, but I do try to use 360 most of the time. So I did just want to say that, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this all over my hair, and then I'm gonna let it sit. And then I'm gonna come back and finish this video off with you guys. All right, so my hair's been sitting for about 5 minutes now, and I'm going to finger comb it and just get it all nice and just kind of like finished up. I just find that finger combing, by the way, just works the best for me. I know some people go in with a wide tooth comb or even a brush, but finger combing is where it's at for me. So I just like to do that. So once I do that, got a lot of volume, I'm gonna go back in with the Redken dry texture spray, and this is gonna be my finishing final step. I just like to set it now that it's sat in the curls, and I love the look that this curling iron and technique that I use gives. I feel like it's just the best. I mean, I like it better than the other technique that I said I didn't know how to do that hairdressers do. I just feel like it looks better than that, a little bit more glamorous. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love doing my hair like this. I feel like it just looks the best like this. I love the hair care I'm using right now. I love the tools I'm using. I just love everything. It's like a 10 out of 10 routine for me personally, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I would recommend, like I said, sticking with this routine, mainly if you're like a dry, wavy hair person and you have a very similar hair type to me. Otherwise, maybe change out some products here and there or just do your own routine. But anyway, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, hit that notification bell down below, and also subscribe to my channel if you have not already. If this is the first time you're stumbling across my channel, please go check out the rest of my channel, see if you like what I put out there. I do beauty, I do lifestyle, and everything in those categories, so definitely stick around if you like what I put out there. I'd love to have you become part of my family over here long term, but for now that is it. So I'm gonna go ahead and bid you guys the best rest of your day, and I will go ahead and see you guys in the next video.